Welcome back to another edition of the Real Talk Show or the Real Talk Podcast Show, where we discuss all matters from politics to economic to relationship and marital issues. And we have experts here every time to enlighten us or educate the public on what to do and what not to do. Since we're here to learn and acquire a lot of knowledge, be a part of this show. Drop your comment in the comment section. Whatever question you have, put it across, and then we'll have answers for that. Thank you for joining us. We have two great gentlemen here today in the name of
Tony Aye.
Tony Aye and
Richard Kwame Amoah.
Richard Kwame Amoah. It's going to be really interesting. There's a long debate or trend on the internet about the Dutch passport and a PhD from Ghana. So recently, you course our internet neso na Ghana ni pebi me akasa me penasempa your friend Kofi Gaps or Netherlands. Now he did a video across speaking about how important the Dutch passport and in general with this program, no, you're being in general, not only the Dutch passport, let's say European or American passport, how the foreign or the Western passport is very important, worth more than a PhD acquired in any university in Ghana. So that was the topic. I saw a lot of videos and backlashes on the internet. A lot of people really didn't understand him. People misinterpreted his message. And I know as a producer, the video, then people actually hear what he said. Message now, or the buy, ye be mu, near ya pensing mu, near Kamwasem.
Ghana University say sex for grades. What to Abuchi say it was sex for passport. And I bribe for passport. What to be that? Maybe say passport. Valuable. Say university bia or Ghana degree and a PhD. Me could feed up guy. People say me a degree only go make you mean maybe. Open Holland passport. Open to Scania unya. Madame for pa your friend Romeo. Down me fi Ghana 23rd March 2018. On no driving me call airport. Sisia or US Chicago. 6 years name me hunie. Holland ha me timini baby a US embassy wo. But one because of this passport. And open me ka some person me cost Romeo. Me te toilet so na me fill US ESTA application. Me tua just $21. You can't tell me say take 72 hours and send me approval. In 1 hour 20 minutes. And I may approval by. To want the power of this passport. PhD will go on cramba. Passport to your friend over achievement.
So the person was changing and they say, "Oh no, na bra bom no." At the back, people forget. They say, "Oh, kasebia," or say, "Me Kofi." So meaning say was single on the home out. Say, "Oh no, dear." You know, people should actually take note of that. Or say, "Oh no, dear, Dutch passport." You know, saying any PhD acquired from any of the top universities in Ghana. To specify or say Ghana. A co internet so a man for be break aside be more say or say PhD in general, which that's not the case. But then you will fear say penform you know be discuss it as we say. Now what do you say was same?
Well, I'm say a buyer no nipa bebre a chro ma dwene on na me feel say the all canon to me no there a idea and crabby womb. Nanso no, I say, what did you like? Kwanye ni fatai. Ebia mianka, men can sa, but the whole canon and crab womb. Because me kai say a buyer, Professor Gambo, legon. Also, ni sorry, oji crano. Odiba dollars $1,000. Oje aha obi o school mark in cry jibrusa. Enti the all canon like say no crazy home. Na I say no cray no ne canon ya na tembia o kan edin. Ye man no economy no so much she ni ye dia ebema PhD holders no omonima benyam but sisi a ɛwɔ mu no deɛ asɛ ɛwɔ fam nti ɛma ebuo biara nim nti obi ɛno na ɛma tɛmbiara no enipa fali bia nom ne ade for so bɛba Europe no because economy no ɛnkɔ yie sɛ kɔ yie deɛ highway means PhD holders Holland Amsterdam to be precise enipa no PhD holders no bebre respect wɔn paa na wɔn adwuma na wɔn yɛ no ɛho te ebuo wɔm bari ne o de kɔ ɛma ɛma ɛnam sɛ economy ne nyɛ nti no ama yɛmu wɔn.
Economy na enye no ɛfa PhD ho ana
ɛfa ho paa kyɛ sɛ economy no ɛma ebi na meka Professor Gambo deɛ yo also ni salary nyina odi ba $1,000 no hwɛ obi a PhD holder we school a wakɔ adesua wo sua ne ade na bosom wo gi ɛya $1,000 a na obi ɛyɛ school marking wɔ Europe no ɔgye saa sika na ɛno nto nkyɛn ɛnneɛma a ɔno ɛna no ɔka sɛ otu kwan sisi a ɔma ne passport so a no ɔkɔ PhD holder no wo obi ama invitation na also okɔgye visa kora etumi refuse ni nyina je sɛ wo ne no nyɛ pɛ ɛso ka hwɛ mu a ka wo no adesua wo sua ba bia wo duro no ka wo kora na wo ka wo anim sene obi a ɔno yɛ cleaner no ɛso ne cleaner no tumi ɛkasa de nsa sinebo because wa hu sɛ wo wɔ fam ampa so
of a maybe some question bro.
Yeah.
Do you believe in education?
Me believe papa.
Yeah, be also. Richie.
Yeah, bro.
PhD. Any European passport. You see, I mainly limited it to Dutch passport. It was as well. You say European and Western passport near powerful, right? And you know, Kofi Gabs, I think so, or Netherlands, you know, or the Dutch passport never represented. And you see how the Dutch passport represented the whole of European and Western, Western passports, no. American passport, European passport, no. And no, any PhD, no. They're here, yeah, very important to you.
I want us to be specific.
Okay.
And because, as he was saying, not the all canon, or yeah, specific,
Right.
which is Ghana, a Dutch passport and PhD in Ghana.
In Ghana.
I don't want us to just make it broad. Send a argument,
Right.
no, obia tia ton assume na obete the air can say. For me, I have a different opinion from me senior brother Eka. I think say you can't downplay education.
Okay.
You can't. No matter how the passport is, you cannot say passport no we do as in education. No, I don't see that.
I see education for Ghana.
Of course, because gaining PhD takes a lot to get a PhD. For let's say we started school correct the same. To pass even your normal just school class test cry pass no
Right.
at the same. Then how much more building from that up to the level of say go up to PhD. And let's not limit it because bakra obefie na say or the teacher man homework kra na sometimes e bia onti ase na ye kra no it's the same. Now will be acquire knowledge up to reach a PhD level, which is not something easy. Because Dutch passport, everyone can get the Dutch passport. Whether it will be Wako school, Unko school, so I then you can just get a Dutch passport. But nobody can just stand up and then say he will get a PhD. So for me, I don't think say they are all canon. If we compare, for me it doesn't wash. So that's my opinion. That's what I want us to hold this argument to. So if we come back, I'm gonna explain. Then we know where I also stands.
I have this question for both of you, right?
Yeah.
So, what are the impacts of the Dutch passport and a PhD from Ghana in our lives or in the ordinary Ghanaian citizen's life? Uncle, Dutch passport.
Yeah.
How has it impacted your life? Having a Dutch passport impacted the life of the people around you, even the people family back in Ghana.
Well, me that's I'm say a good. Someone who be sano, and one year there, nan can pese be raising now we are back.
Right.
I'm say, dear Amoah we in Abano education. The obianim say a very very important. Na to acquire PhD, you know, it take nyoma bebre. But here is the case. Say, idea. Ama PhD, we a PhD holder. Above from, it says, when you no any financially no, or Ghana, and we a PhD holder.
Me sure no. Say okay say above form in above form in what sense?
Above form
I will kind ben sunti na above form.
I say on say financially no, we a weak.
And so let's say financially no, me wo PhD, me wo Ghana, ya family juma as PhD holder, and I me ye juma. You are also having your Dutch passport in Holland.
So what brochure?
Na ye fancy ye compare obi ye juma. Me PhD me Ghana me ye juma. O ukuta Dutch passport o Holland o ye juma. At the end ebe no a down play I beka say PhD no ne because of say o Holland na ukuta passport ni ntino ni PhD no aba form.
Oh, the India make us aba form say Sikaya de bia enona a rule ebiasi.
Right.
Oh, we a PhD holder. Asembe fi kra ye frewa na wo dodge. Because can you?
No.
Oh yes.
No. No, please. It's not like that.
Are you sure?
I'm the reason is people are not telling the truth. If let's say who Holland, then you are working as a cleaner, as Kofi Gab is saying. How much is he earning? If you quantify it in our cities, and let's say I'm in Ghana, I'm a PhD holder, I'm working as a PhD, and they are paying me according to my certificate. What then I will earn more. My things that I'm going to do will be cheaper comparing to you living in Europe, because you are going to pay your rent.
But is Ghana cheaper nowadays?
If you see, sometimes we get it wrong.
Okay.
If we are comparing the two, as Kofi Gap is saying, then I don't think, as he's claiming to live in a rich life, some people are living, they have PhD, and they are living good, they are living better in Ghana. I'm telling you.
No.
It's because people are not coming out. That is why we are downplaying them. But if they are coming out, we can see that they are living a good life. There are more PhD people who are living in good life.
So are we going to say that there are a lot of PhD holders looking at the ratio in Ghana? Can we get even the 20% of PhD holders in a system like Ghana? And if we are saying PhD holders are living well, let's strike it down to the population of Ghana. Find a percentage and see how many people are not living well.
I can tell you for a fact that it's because we have not done the survey. If there is a survey to bring out these things, then we might know that there are people who have a PhD who are living well, better than people who are living even in Europe.
Right.
I can say it on authority. It's because we don't have the fact. Do we have the fact?
No, the point is...
No, we don't have the fact.
I listened to Professor Gambo on radio, and he said he, at the end of his salary is $100,000. I mean,
For a professor.
yes,
A PhD holder.
PhD holder.
Maybe the $1,000 is enough looking at
No, but
the economy or the
let's
environment.
let's
to find
let's
this.
But
let's
you just said,
you see
look,
let's
the
let's
Ghana economy.
let's bring it down to this level. How much is the dollar? How much is a dollar? So if we know how much is a dollar, then we can change the $1,000 to cedis and see how much he's earning. Because as we are saying, we are changing the euro into cedi and we think the money is enough. You are living in Europe. Yeah, he's
No, but
living.
Ghana is not cheap.
No, he's living in
Oh,
Ghana.
Ghana is very expensive.
You might even not know that some of the PhD holders, a lot of them, they own their houses. They are not paying rent. They are not paying any mortgage.
Why?
They are not paying rent.
Why are they not? Okay, they own their houses.
They own their
They're not
houses.
paying mortgages.
They are not paying anything.
Okay.
You are here.
But
you
the
rent.
question is, I understand from your point of view, there are PhD holders in Ghana are living very well. But the question is, how many of them can we get in Ghana? Like, what's the percentage? Looking at the total population of Ghana, look, if they are living well, fair enough. If we have over 50% of the population living well, then we can say there's improvement. It's going better. Can we say, or hardly hit our hands on our chest and say we have about a 50% of Ghanaian population who are well educated or holding PhD? Because now you are trying to let me know, say, PhD holders in Ghana are living well. So if we can get about 50 and plus 1% of people of the population who have had their PhD, then basically they are living well, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're trying to tell me.
Of course, because we don't have let's say
We've not done a
we don't
survey.
have the survey to determine.
But one guy's will be to me do any to
But-
education no there.
You see,
Wakwa a degree. Nipa
It's
kakra bi na
it's
ɛyɛ PhD.
Good.
Right.
That is why I'm basing my argument that so far as say eye nipa kakra bi no, those people are into higher positions.
So how about the ordinary Ghanaian?
You are this is an argument between a Dutch passport and PhD holder.
But Dutch passport, even the ordinary people have Dutch passports.
Yeah.
Yes, that is why
How
I said
can the ordinary people
that
not
is
have
why
the
I said
PhD too?
if you are ordinary, you can never acquire a PhD.
Okay.
But if you are ordinary, you can acquire a passport.
Okay, wait. How do we let's put it in context here. Let's define the ordinary person according to our way of living, our systems.
Okay.
Who is an ordinary person?
Let's say if you are saying ordinary person, someone without any education, someone who is below average.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's put it on that.
Okay,
on that
below
person.
average.
Yeah.
Over when we say the ordinary person, how do you understand by that?
Oh, ordinary person, no. Yeni Ghana no kra no. Obi akɔ school kra, otumi ye ordinary person.
Because
Because you see, me gyina so a me can say money is everything. Obi ewo education, but because of financial constraints, ama waye weak. Me BBM no, who say you classify as ordinary person because
Mr. Ominchwa no.
yeah.
If we say money is everything,
Oh yes.
I have a problem with that.
we'll come to that.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Before complete to
Yeah,
statement.
so they are
Yeah, bye-bye.
cross.
Because me me share me kai say and sorry crab me kai say obi nim efre nipa bi say omo formu panties ni ademra graduates nipa omo ko school ni ade a o nam say efie problems ni ade o my say nkola bi upon education omo kuta nyina o obi nim say elementary kra wanwie omutumi esisa amonioma no me akoma no enti education na wo ko a wo di boost no any say
You see, you made a point. I don't think almost sa pint the coin, we could get even one PhD holder.
Ebi cry, bro. Ebi cry.
PhD holders, no. First of all, do say Ukraine.
That is the point. This argument is centered on between the PhD.
Okay.
That is what I'm basing on.
So the PhD holders are a small number.
Yeah.
Small
let's
percentage.
say it's
So you are speaking for the small percentage now.
Yes, that is what I'm.
Your maimu and then a small percentage are the PhD holders, which to you, they are living well now. They are living a good life. How about a greater percentage,
This argument is because if I have been able, because those PhD holders, somebody is coming from a village, somebody is coming from nowhere, but he has been able wa bread and sana wodu baby a wodu no. And you say ofiti yana say ebia ni fie yana ye will be more mu fie ya ansa no mo babe go through ebe climbing up to that level. But we also mu fie nye, but gradually wa pass it through the channels, wa kobo wa koswa concrete, wa koye some level and son what they call secondary school. From there we are co-university. From there or no or co-investing or tonton niema be owie no pay adwuma kakra to upgrade himself. You understand? But say oka say o te ho idol na o pe say obi emra me bibia ma wa. I don't think it works like that. And Europe amo kan ma say me say Kofi Gabs again. I don't think say Europe no obi ate ho idol.
Obi aye bibi.
Obi aye bibi.
Say bibi wo honti no obi aye bibi no.
It's the system. That is why I will follow.
What the another point?
Yes.
Wait, the entire mechanism say a system and I will follow. And it's because of the system, no. Every ordinary can acquire the passport.
So who creates the system?
Who? Yeah, this is not to me. But I can tell you, people are not even PhD holders. People are as me bra penika. Kofo mo kuta degree near they omo pint is near they call. But I think in Holland, they don't specifically look for degree or PhD or something. But if they see you can do the work as it is, you are qualified.
Okay.
You can just, they can just tap in, they are tapping knowledge.
So that makes you shoot yourself in your foot.
No, I'm not.
Take it like this.
No.
You made a point, right? That people have worked hard to acquire PhD and now they are enjoying.
Yes.
So basically, you are trying to tell me, say, it means every Ghanaian should educate themselves to the PhD level to enjoy. So now,
I'm not saying.
Let me make a point. Let's say there are two queues you have to join to make your payment in a supermarket or something, right? One here, left and right, and everybody is shifting to the left, thinking, say, the right is slow or it's not getting fast. What's the probability? Say those in the left will get served quickly. It means that everybody, for whichever level you are in life, you should be important and useful in your system, in your economy.
Good.
Because if there are no cleaners, then the high class will not make debt. They will make debt and then they'll sit in the debt. So that's why there should be cleaners who clean and also make something. But that's the point we are trying to make. That a PhD, according to Kofi Gabs, I watched the video. He said a PhD in Ghana should not be compared to the passport of the West, right? Because with the passport, he has a lot of benefits. He even highlighted a lot of economic benefits that he has in terms of good healthcare, good roads, good transport network, good education for his kids and stuff like that. Which to me, I feel like regardless how much you're making in Ghana as a PhD holder, look at all these amenities. Do you have them around you?
Are we saying people in Ghana, even those who don't have PhD, they don't have such life? They don't.
Do they have good healthcare?
They don't have good healthcare.
I'm asking.
Of course, people go to private hospitals. that they take good care of them.
How many people can afford that?
That is why he's a PhD holder. He can afford.
Okay.
No.
He can afford.
Okay.
We are talking about PhD holder and someone who is having a Dutch passport.
Oh.
Somebody is not having a Dutch passport. He's living in Holland, but he also have a good life.
Okay. So his point that he made.
Yeah, I'm
Precisely,
just.
let me just be precise here. The point that Kofi Gab making, he was talking about he having access to travel. He having some amenities
Yeah.
at his doorstep.
Social amenities.
Good light, flow of water, good healthcare, transport system, and all this stuff. And then having the Dutch passport on top gives him access to travel with less pressure or even no pressure, no stress, as compared to having the Ghana passport. Meaning, being a PhD holder in Ghana, of course, you're a Ghanaian, having a Ghana passport. It means you have to go through series of, checks, series of interviews and whatever to acquire a visa to travel. I don't know how hard, I'm not a PhD holder, but for the PhD holders, I don't know how hard it is to acquire a visa to travel out of Ghana.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because if I'm a PhD holder,
Right.
and I'm working in a high office or where I have a
In a high office. So are all PhD holders working
no.
in a high office?
Let's say if I'm a PhD holder,
Yeah.
and I'm a lecturer, and I want to travel, is it going to be difficult?
Oh, yes. Of
It's
course.
not going to be difficult.
Look,
It's not.
let me tell you.
It's
something.
not. The reason why I said it's not because I'm teaching, and I'm well known. Like if I'm teaching in Legon and I want to travel, let's say I want to go on vacation, the school
But
can
don't
just
forget
the,
that
the
you
school.
are from third world country.
No,
You see-
it doesn't matter, bro.
It matters a
It doesn't
lot.
matter.
It matters a
because,
lot.
Because the reason why it doesn't matter because if he's a lecturer and he's teaching and he wants to travel outside, the school can just write something for him. He can go to the embassy. They know he's working. He's teaching. They can just give him the visa.
Okay.
But
Why
don't,
not?
Don't forget if his bank statement, his or her bank statement is not enough, it's not good enough, they will refuse.
I'm saying that sometimes we think or we imagine that his bank statement would not be enough, but trust me, because of his work, the nature of his work.
Come on.
No, to be a lecturer.
No, somebody whose salary is $1,000.
We are saying $1,000, but when you change $1,000 into CD, it's not something small.
No, but Ghana is expensive, eh? Don't forget, Ghana is very, very expensive.
You see, that is
Yes.
my problem. Ghana is expensive. Are we saying Europe is not expensive?
It's
It is
expensive,
expensive.
but
So,
Very expensive.
No.
so what
Look,
are we saying?
look, let me tell you something.
Let him come out. Let Kofi Gaps come out to tell us that I earn 2,000 euros. I pay my rent this amount. I pay this. I pay that, and at the end of the month, I save this.
There's a lot to pay.
That is the argument.
But he lives in the Dorp, in the village. And there, you see, Amsterdam is more expensive than where he lives. So, I mean, you can't compare the two.
Yes, still.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because
still.
here,
Yes, still.
we pay rent more than some people pay more than €1,000 in Amsterdam, but over there they pay less than 500.
Yes, still. For me, as he has not come out to say I earn
No, but you
1,005.
can see from the way he behaves, he lives good.
We are imagining.
Oh, come on.
We are imagining.
No,
you know,
come on.
bro. Some in Europe, when someone is living, you might think he's living on top of everything, but you don't know how much he earns. You don't know how much he's spending the money. You don't know what he's doing. So let's not bring that argument now.
Knowledge is power indeed. You know what? Let me put this into this context. Like, a highly educated person in Ghana with a PhD holder is living good, obviously, from what you're saying.
Yeah.
and a low educated person in Europe who is like just a cleaner is also living better. So the probability is that. So even the low, uneducated or less educated person in Europe as a cleaner is living well, then the probability that the PhD people, the PhDs in Europe are living really, they are on there, they are there. As compared to Ghana, where the PhD people are there, where do we see the other people?
Yes.
The less privileged people, like people with, you know what he was trying to say. For me, I understand him in a way that he lives in a system where there's equal opportunities. We got looking at your standard of education. You are there. Like people are here, you are also there, and you're also okay. Looking at your standard. But in Ghana, it's either you are here or nothing. From what he's saying and from what also work on. So if the PhD people are living good, come down to the people under the PhD. How is life for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, he's right. You see, the gap between the rich and the poor is wide. It's big. Here, look, everybody lives almost the same. Even ordinary people, those cleaners, those professors here in Holland. I mean, the difference is just negligible. But when you go to Ghana, PhD holders, sankoye corruption no ni adia. True. Ghana corruption and omudi survival. No cre men ye chinyi.
No.
He obi kopa admission a sika ebeje no ni adia no omudi survival. So no nima but no obi nye bribe. So omu live kama because the difference is big.
Are we saying that everybody living in Europe is living well, living better?
I know there be.
Oh, I know there be.
But you find the average.
That is the average.
Yes.
That is the average.
Yes.
If you are saying that everybody living in Europe is living well, that means that there's
No.
But
maybe 100%.
Good.
Oh, we are saying.
Let's make the argument well. Kovigab is a Ghanaian, so let's take Ghanaians to this matter.
Okay.
The Ghanaians living in Europe or in Holland here, can we say everyone is living well?
It depends how you manage yourself.
So you see,
You manage your financial finances.
there's everyone and how much he's earning or he's being paid. So everyone is not living the same.
No, but I know they remember much say obi egi 2,000, but the way was he managing himself, no. At the end of 15th, I'm not starting Bobby Siam. Obi so get 1,500. Otumi 7B. And I know the individual differences. Obi how I will see managing finances. Obi Obi get 10,000. 15th no Bobby Siam.
But as you are saying, someone is also living in Ghana who is selling pure water by the street.
Average.
No, he's
let me average. You're funny average.
Until me make it this analogy. Someone is living in Ghana who is just selling pure water, but he has been able to build a mansion where someone is living in Europe who has not even built just one house to just come and live in.
Average in here.
No, I'm just trying to make a point.
No, the plan is
people are rushing and coming to Europe, but when they come, they still can't do anything. He comes, he gets the money, and he thinks, "Oh, I have the money," and he will not do anything.
So regardless, you need a plan for your life.
For sure. And so let's not say that everyone living in Europe is living well.
No, that's not true.
No, but
there are a lot of Ghanaians living here who are struggling.
Yeah.
So let's not compare.
Now, okay, let's put it like this: a struggling person in Europe and a struggling person in Ghana. How is it going to be? Who is better off? How is the struggle going to be? How is it going to hit hard? Who is going to feel it more?
Well, you see, this is two different things.
Yeah.
The two
Everybody struggles. That one
Yes.
for sure. It doesn't
Yes.
matter if you're in Ghana or you're in Europe.
Yes.
Everybody struggles.
This is a two different thing because you are living in Europe, he's living in Africa. So for me, I don't want to bring this argument because if you are living in Europe, your situation, your life, everything is different, totally different from someone who is living in Africa.
So it means Europe is better, right?
I'm not saying better.
Okay.
Because there are people who are sleeping outside in Europe, as there are people also sleeping outside in Africa.
Yeah, that is true.
So you see the dynamics. You see how people in Africa are thinking maybe people living in Europe are not sleeping outside. There's nothing like that. But let's be frank.
But I don't know. So it depends. I know. You see, I'm not gonna say yo baby or what. Amanfo to me kokra ko jinuane e wa ha o. So Africa obi o wa de no kra aduane obedi eden.
Is that so?
Oni baby a obekọ akọji sa aduane no bi. Minim ha even na higher kra council for ya, health for ya, rice boss. Minim baby bebra utumi ko ji aduane. Enti obi o wa ne life no onu ana ontumi manage nioma bi na ama obre odabontin ene okọ American ma homeless e bi dabot ufi se nipa no oye na dwen ya obedabontin no but na dwen na onye ni no ene uti baby a gold nko akra na yedia na o mismanage nioma obedabontin and on just say ubetumi dia compare Africa because Africa no economy no your leaders no omunya ne omaye entitem bia no e ma nipa ho kire omo unim nyansa kra pese ubo abrabo papa edin.
But for me, I think say obabo abrabo papa no as okano eno ne de hin because I think everything lies on you. If you want to progress, if you want to live, you have, as you are saying, say, opportunity to go and take food, to do this, but still you are not able to do. But let's say Nipano or Ghana, we have a culture. We have a culture of giving.
Yeah, that's true.
What I say, if semi who semi ni akora ho chena, I can help him. I can give him food.
Na coach no that's here adwuma de.
You see,
And yes, I may get it hard on you.
No,
but
that
I
means,
want to get answers also.
That means, of course, why your culture here, Juma pa. Our culture
is. Also, studying your maybe so. I share Ghana. Eba ahofama se nipa ebe boa wo ne ho nyoma. Eno wo ho. Wo de hwa abrochiri wo mo nkwara yi. You have to always pay for daycare. But Ghana so betimi eja Obama obi ahwe na mo akoye.
Good.
There's advantages no wa ha and disadvantages nso bi wa ha.
Good.
But what they are share in a nutshell no. Yenhwe system nim, economy nim, opportunities and woman obi abetimi agrabe. Ghana they I know say you have to knock hard to get opportunities. Europe also they pay coffee gaps no opportunities ni go. Just say wa wadwen adwuma. And I won't pick bi enfanye bibi. Enti no media to me I'm very big on education. Because nimdia the Bible cracker say nimdia me mind intino.
Thank you.
Yeah, for lack of knowledge.
Thank you.
My people perish.
Thank you.
Nimdia the before you get knowledge no, e adisua e school. And na school so nya sebi structure and classroom na yes no. Education. From the one aye nyina ye wo ye to ye busua mu no. Ube hu obi obekire say sebi opese uja na ojo so kase ana kase ni nyina education na e peke no. So obekire say aduane fa won ni fadi hohron sansan no wadidi san yo we nyina basic yesuan yenyini no enye classroom ne kwotena nti education dey be feel say otimi nya no ba bia nye structure na yesi
sure
esi ho no
sure
nti ni nyina aka adesua no ho ni nyina aka knowledge acquiring no ho nti education is very important, but on the other hand no so no what are the opportunities are education na yenya no ye bitimi dia blossom ye bitimi dia impact ye ho ene afoforo ene wo mu etwa ye ho ahia so na me kire se bi o Say she wonu ma na otimi ma obi bi. Na also any shewa obede timi abo obi. So on the mention until when we talk about knowledge, I see the whole say how does it impact the people around you, your immediate environment, no?
Surround this.
Right. How does it impact? Same as acquiring a Dutch passport. How does it impact your immediate environment? And I feel say these two comparison are very sensitive.
Sure.
And no matter we say discussion where it can go on for as long as, because you want fat home baby a bit media to ho.
Yeah.
You dey be can same we say. Me ma dwene mu no. Ni fani bonkum ni nyina obi antin de Kofi Gaps kan no. Me ne ya adwene. Ono wakasa ya na me pay attention to him. He makes it clear say me Kofi. Meaning say ono there. So meaning say he's being rational making decisions which will help him impact his life, which will impact his life or help him move on. But the same way decision now no one making no. Say be obi nso ko make am no.
Sure.
It depends obi an na brabo. But o make point be on my ultimate say to me clear, especially forget about Dutch book no, any PhD no. But as nipa bia is all rational making decisions. Say dey na be impact your life, dey na be boa brabo, na impact on generation. Ono hu ne say o make decisions so be to kwa abe print krata, abe pre passport and na be boa no. And lo and behold, no one say ne kwan na boy no nam so oye na adwen yi obi so obi sua de say ne o kan no ono so live good in Ghana, he's getting well paid. So what Ghana now you are getting paid up $2,000 a month. We are rich. Oh,
Of course.
yeah, we are rich.
Yeah.
But you ain't na
$1,000.
$1,000 grow you rich.
But it depends.
Because
As a PhD, to me, no.
My money ni padodo ewo. Yeah, breaking it down to a percentage. Say, how are people surviving? Because obviously, no, even the low class in the Netherlands, no crano. Also, you are cleaning and he's living well. Meaning, say higher class, no, they are better off.
Yes.
And in Ghana, no, we are looking at. So he compared the lower class of Europe to the higher class of Ghana.
Class of Ghana, yes.
But I don't think he compared that too, because, for instance,
So be a PhD or Ghana.
For
PhD.
For instance, I hope say everyone is aware. The boss of Cocoa Board, how much is he earning? There are people who are living in Ghana who are earning better than people who are living in
Percentage wise. Percentage
it's
wise.
not percentage wise.
No.
The paddle was a
Yeah, the panel was saying.
I'm not. You see where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I said if he's comparing the higher class, he's always saying PhD. Maybe somebody is not having PhD, but he's having a master's or a degree.
Yeah.
Or but he's
also living good.
who is living good.
Okay. Yeah.
Only
That's
few
the
people.
point.
Only few people.
That's the point, though.
You see,
I
my
see your
plan
point.
is only few people.
There are people who are not even PhD holders,
Yeah,
who are
I know,
degree
but
holders, who are
how many percent?
HAD holders, HND
Only few
holders,
people.
but they are earning well.
Let's make this a systemic argument.
They are
right?
earning well.
Let's make this a systemic. Let's make it easy. Let's make this a systemic argument. Looking at both systems, Europe system, Dutch system, and the Ghanaian system. How have they been able to manipulate or to build a system in such a way that it can accommodate anybody regardless of your educational background or class for you to live better? Nobody's living the best, of course.
Yeah.
Better. Look at the system in Ghana. How is the system like? Of course, being a PhD holder, you would have good opportunities because of how well you have learned. What's your idea, you know? We are assets. But when you say any penny na it means you do that level. You know, yen shenesa. Na yen fan can same way say. Because the same way can be as when I say you're coming to an end. Because every day in day out, no Kofi Gaps or to pressure no. And pressure no me am say eko pa.
But onim me dey me hu ni say.
Yeah.
The ama we no pressure no echo no say the o kan no. Uhwema ewiase abrabo na yebo no. Me the way a enipa wa abrabo no nya wonko an. Enipa eben wo no. Etwa ho hia no. How a ubisi wo ebesunsun ama ebi aka omo no and important. abrochire a wo de remittances a ye de koma Ghana enu nima ka economy ni kura game senka a broke kura ba yetumi ye ne boa o mo pa o hwema ba obi a PhD holder me offer for ni nuanom kura no bi kura te say afin sumpumo wa yitakukura komo bia because ono ano ne ho enso no no di bia bremo
say PhD holders no so wo ne kura nimdie na wo so de boa man no
nimdie no ko nimdie no ho ba onimdie no na say financial no ye weaker society no it's like unya relevant because I say nimdie akwed say obi wa sorry ana obi tufu obi tufu no sikanka ho a wasem no ukoya akra e best
footwear sikanka ho yinti
oh yeah fa oh yeah fact
say the who can dia that means who was sikanka na wadwene na
that be the two I was a kaboom but back ekoye afutu no nko ade a unko he
but won say say me tuofo ana utumefo na say me ni sikanti na say ma wo ka no eye no kra na me feel say because uni sikanti me mfa am I doing myself good or I'm doing myself harm?
But you cannot cry
no entina me busa say me ye me who good and me ye me who harm because I feel say asem na wo ka no eye no kra but me who say uni sikanti me mfa which enka me fire and me tie na me ye ya enka be boa me ama me benye sika.
There is an adage be I can say sika kakra odo kakra enti adage ni can say
but the PhD
ni mienu kan boma na eye adwuma enti wi ba ko free man ye
but the PhD holder onye obi APU onye broke onye broke in a society like that.
Oh no wo abusuamu a na bibi ni unsema o qualification ne kuta ono se obi a okuta sa PhD no
ye wo
na ti okuta na sa woska wono oni monyam na susun de oni bi a okuta PhD no kwa
bro
true
bro PhD se ebusuam na obi a
ye pekrachini
akrachini wakwakobo
sikaka ho a ono na ni monyam no esusun de okuta PhD no kwa
bro se ebusuan wo hoi PhD nim obi enko school ni anim enko anim na obi akọ school aba be PhD ni a
the maker no am sure
kuro ni nyina akura no
the maker no ntimase na eba se obi so okuta PhD no so awus kaka ho no na wa okuta PhD no kwa why
na se wa kama se me ama me me kura PhD me wosika o se okura PhD oni sika se o nya ide se PhD na
be ba wo no wo ni monyam sin de on kuta oni sika
but yes though he has the PhD he can earn money because how because he's qualified as a PhD no if he's looking for work and he finds work of course he'll be paid well.
Me feel said this whole topic no broad I say breaking on into next episode na you can want some because there are a lot of stories and so I'm for post to internet. I think we have to pick them all. Some are talking about a PhD say it's a good thing to have it because the other time I think Prophet Odro in Ghana in the video he was condemning the fact say Kofi Gabs doesn't know what he's talking about because PhD there, to acquire a PhD you go through a lot which nimdie fine and easy. Knowledge is power and education is expensive. So and Kofi Gabs also can asem chire say krata obepre wa brochira boa no amenenya access to nyoma bi anko Ghana ko nya some time ago yare unya pneumonia ko hospital yesad net to form obi a wo yare nya pneumonia na de wato form ze ne ewu na we there's a Ghana no ye fani pa ho bi asa no beso wo chire ana system no ye ntutu ne ye in such a way say be accommodate obi a
no one waka no
opes wo chire
PhD won't compare PhD a Dutch passport.
Oh,
But
no,
your
no.
system no yet.
I know the Oboa.
Oh,
I know the
your
Oboa.
system
Into
no.
system you good.
In the system no.
We are not comparing systems.
Maybe person can make it a system.
We are not comparing
Yes.
systems.
No.
But now you are narrowing the argument to systems.
No.
Say
And no
argument
PhD no. Yes.
No, to be a bedroom.
No.
I say you hold the balance. No.
Are we-
Because
are we-
media knowledge, very important. You have PhD.
Yes.
I've known people on PhD or Ghana. At the end of the day, to coin for Ghana, abe embark on almost studies no. I'm on PhD no. They abe pay you my bridge.
Yes.
Yes, or mine no no me a PhD no. Mine am benefit almost so. At the end no mine am benefit
System,
also.
no.
These are some of the things I think say in our next episode no. Me say you throw more light on it because the other time let me share one of these news or TV3 4 platform talking about the number of doctors are almost graduate to free Ghana no more free Ghana co. And gradually no more almost research no more say right now over Ghana one doctors are about 8,000 whatever. I mean there's a figure be put it across. Meaning say producer the better so. Me person me bomb is market bibia. But according to the ratio, no, one doctor is to 8,000 whatever Ghanaians. One doctor to
One
that.
doctor. Yeah.
According to number of doctors I see a Ghana one, because we a graduate here no free on my muko. And these are some of the things that I would love to we'll talk about. Internet say the argument no, we'll put the Dutch PhD aside and we'll talk about system on the next episode.
Yes.
Say be a being how on my running because me to me no meaning say only the want me running on my
Maybe.
and for a country like Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah breast ya bedu sabre no enim defo any lead on mine no and without knowledge no without PhD no of course for us no you want to say the highest we say doctorate or but any easy sir fine to have a PhD no enim so won die kwan so ye ma odi bere a obetimi ade atene mwai atoto nyoma amana ye se bi yenkofa cleaner e ma ne me ade e metena office e make decisions and I me dwene man ho na you know nti PhD are very important. And of course, only will be compared Juma now PhD. Who say the level of education also education no very very important. We're not going to condemn that. That transport on the other hand no so a boy binum into a way near per balance no near how and your money be into no. For now no make so near wrap it up. On the next episode no we are going to talk about the systems and then how they can put the systems in place. A bema PhD no. PhD or Dutch passport o ni na be carry equal weight na you say nipa bia no se na wutie bia no you are important and wherever you are or whatever level you are in life no wo so no opportunities are you have to survive on that. And thanks for having you here, thanks for coming and on the next episode on Real Talk podcast show no we'll discuss about the systems no we'll compare the two systems. Obviously I know the African system they cannot be compared to European system but of course, European system was once like the African system. It took time for them to build it up to this stage. We'll look at that and then we'll help educate the general public, And of course, you back at across a man penifona to say, yes, so you can how they can put things in place to help the system because so Ghana say me ban one can be an Ghana ni. Okay, be so one can ye so we know how to balance the two. And thanks for having you. Thanks for coming, Wafa and Richie. We'll meet again next week. Thanks, viewers. Put your comments in the comment section. Put out all your questions and then let's have this debate. Close this chapter once and for all. Thank you and have a great evening.